continuation of Don. Don is a predominant force in the society of Israel and the world. Thus, he is the cop of society. He decides what goes on and what doesn't go on. Drugs are allowed or not allowed. Molestation is allowed or not allowed. Stealing is allowed or not allowed. Murder is allowed or not allowed. Right now, he is permitting stealing, permitting child molestation, permitting drugs, and forbidding murder. Basically, okay. And also, he's permitting idol worship and heresy. Okay, that's what's going on. And the desecration of the Sabbath, and not having to live by the Torah, because he's kind of the cop. He's basically the cop that influences all the other cops. The cave where either Samson or Don himself is buried in the land of Israel, in the Beit Shemesh area, it's either Don, I think it's Don himself, Don, the son of Yaakov, is a cave filled with bats. Bats. Which is a remez, a hint towards Batman and Robin. Don is Batman. He's the Batman guy. He's the Batman. Why bats? A bat lives in a cave. He doesn't need light. Why? Because he uses sonar. Sonar, what's that? He uses sound waves. The bat screams, and then the sound wave of his scream bounces off the wall and is reflected back into his very large ears, and by that way he knows how far away the wall is. Maybe he uses what's called a Doppler frequency change to measure his speed as well. Like, most frequency hopping missiles, like the Patriot and some other missiles too. Most Russian missiles, the SAMs, use the frequency hopping Doppler radar with electromagnetic waves. They can judge the distance and speed of the airplane target or the missile target, whatever. That's the same type of principle. But the bat uses sound to know how far away distant objects are from, so he doesn't bump into them, basically. Or he can mount them and, hang off the wall or hang off the branch of a tree, wherever he's going to go. He can fly around at night using his sonar, his sound wave, to detect where he is. And then, which reminds us of Don ben Hushim. There was one Don named Hushim. Hush means sense, means feel, to feel. Don also relates to things as energies. People have energies. He feels energies in himself. He views the Israeli army as having a certain amount of energy to fight. One Donite told me to my face. He said, "Yeah, well, the Israeli army has 2 weeks of energy and supplies and manpower to fight, and afterwards it's kaput." That's how he looked at it. I personally don't look at it that way, but that's his interpretation. He runs the army. I'm not saying that 2 weeks is the amount of time that we can fight. I wouldn't give that information over to anyone if I knew it, and I don't know it necessarily. And I don't think anyone can know it. Only God knows it. If somebody who thinks he knows it, God's going to play a trick on him, which will be funny. That's a comedy already. Like Father says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And if you're an anti-Semite listening to this, and you got plans against the Jewish people, God's going to make a joke out of you. If you're lucky, if you get, God loves you. He does. Even if a Jew told you otherwise because he's upset, hurt, threatened, fearful of you. Not worthy, not good. Horrific, horrible, whatever. Maybe you're better than him in some ways. Why? Because you're the chosen people. If you're better than him, okay, whatever. You might be better than him in some ways. And maybe you're not. And you think you are because you have your ego trip too. But God loves you. He created you. God loves even Satan and all his creations. If he loves Satan, I know that because I wanted to kill Satan. And God said to me, I tried killing Satan. I said, this is the problem of society that Satan is messing everything up, so I'm going to kill him. He's not a person, so I'm not transgressing the sin of murder. He's just an angel. I've killed many angels. I've killed many demons. I've killed many, many demons. Not good angels. I've killed many, many demons. So I said, well, if I can kill demons, why don't I just kill the chief demon, the head of the demons, Satan? I tried. And God said, you want to kill my creation? I got punished. I actually got punished for it. So I just have to control my own evil inclination, I guess, or get rid of my own. That I'm allowed to do. So God loves the Goyim, the Gentiles, or the Genitiles, whatever you want to call them. That's how they view themselves. They're into that. Called the Genitiles. Going back to Dan. So Dan's got this one member of his tribe that appears in the Torah, the Chumash, the 5 books, Hushim. I know who else you got in Dan? You got Ahaliab. The artisan, the craftsman, who's a partner with Bezalel, who they made the temple. They made the vessels, the kelim, the vessels for the temple, and for the sanctuary where we worship Hashem and make sacrifices. So you have in Dan, technicians and engineers who are very good. You can see that at Raphael Weapons Manufacturer Company, and maybe other companies in Israel too. I'm not sure. They're craftsmen. They make washing machines like Tadiran and dryer. Oh, they make dryers. No, they don't make washing machines. They make air conditioners. They make air conditioners and refrigerators. Which air conditioner, if you look at it, is an energy transfer device. It transfers cold and hot energy from one room to the next. Hushim, feel, sense, energy, Dan. They're about energy. They understand the whole energy transfer thing. They have insight into that. And they're good at appliances and craftsmanship and making mechanical devices, electromechanical things. That's another character trait of Dan. Dan, other than Judah, Yehuda, Yosef, and Aaron, who appear a lot in the Torah, Dan appears a lot. Ahaliab, the craftsman, the person who cursed God's name and was stoned to death in the Chumash. Then we have, I think Dan or Yehuda killed Esau by batting his head off. It doesn't appear in the Chumash, but that's how Esau died. His head is in the tomb of the patriarchs, because Esau had a good head. His heart wasn't good, was very impure, but he had a good head on his shoulders. The CIA, right, type of thing. The MIT and Harvard professors, who raped the world with the evil geniuses. That's Esau. They serve Israel for good and kill us for bad. Rav Yavot Seir. That's bracha. So, getting back to Dan, we have Samson and Delilah. Am I missing someone? Oh, Micah. They set up the first idol in Israel. Micah. Going over that. We get all sorts of character traits and personalities from that. And what else? I'm probably from the tribe of Dan. My mother's father's from the tribe of Dan. His father worked, my mother told me, as a kind of gardener, obituary or something, for the king of Prussia. The Prussian Guards were the foremost military power in Europe, in the West. They helped win the American Revolution. My mother's father was a gardener, and maybe he was a secret guard of the king, Frederick or Wilhelm or something, the Prussian king, which they're good at. So the whole Hushim, feel energy thing is going on in Dan also as well. Israeli police told me they wanted to make a device that measures the energy of people's bodies, electromagnetic energy, and maybe alpha waves or some kind of waves, to identify people's signature instead of using a fingerprint. I saw in the Israeli airport a fingerprint machine which uses infrared energy to detect your fingerprint. So that's also going on.